World Drum Club.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to Tuesday Museday. We have internet service today. I'll tell you about what happened last week. That was my fault. It's kind of a funny story. Anyway, welcome to Tuesday Museday. I'm Kalani, your host. And right now we're in 3. So you guys feel it with me. You can sway. Get into the rhythm of the 3. 1, 2. man, that was dramatic. How are you guys doing? All right, what's up, guys? All right, who is here? Wow, a lot of people here. Roseanne, welcome. Thank you for joining and hosting. Eric, hello. Bill is here. Alex. I guess it's just you guys. I thought it was more. No problem. I saw a lot of notes, but yeah, I think they're mostly from random notes from Roseanne. All right, welcome you guys. So last week, if you recall, and some of you don't because you weren't here, I had no high-speed internet in my studio, and I was freaking out because I came out here, I was a little behind, I was doing a lot of stuff during the day. I came out to set up, and I'm like, oh my God, I have no internet, there's nothing happening on my computer. I was resetting it, I was resetting the routers and all this stuff. And I couldn't figure it out, and I was panicking, and I'm like, I'm just gonna use my phone. So I was trying to use my phone for the live stream because I really wanted to show up, right? That's important, is to show up and be on time. And so I started on my phone, and it was just like using the 4G or 5G or whatever G, which is not, G is not for great, not even good in that circumstance. And it was dropping out, it was just a mess. So after like two tries of streaming, I got booted off the live stream. I started another live stream. You guys, it was not fun. And on top of all that, so I just bailed. I just said, you know, I'll see you guys next week, which is now, which is happening. So that's the good news. The thing that I have to admit is that it was my fault. And what happened was, I'll make this short. I was doing some work around the house, and I had to move a habitat for some dubia roaches that we use for food for our bearded dragon. You guys don't need to know that. The thing that happened was I unplugged an extension cord that was plugged into this like closet where the furnace is and the water heater and stuff, and I just like unplugged it because I thought, oh, it's just for some lights up in the attic. However, it wasn't only for lights in the attic, it was also for an internet switcher that I had plugged into that extension cord, and I had forgotten that I had plugged in the switcher to the extension cord in the attic, which by the way is how I get internet in my little studio at the other end of the house. So I sabotaged myself, and I figured it out actually later the same day, but the damage was done. The live stream was blocked by a lack of interwebs. All right, so that's all I'm going to say on that. Welcome everybody, though, and it's great to see you guys. Please, if you'd like, put where you're at, put where you're from. Some of you are in the chat, and we will say hello if we haven't already. Today's theme is about 3 versus 6. So I thought it could be interesting to just kind of explore the difference because mathematically they add up to the same, right? Like 6/8 notes, right? But of course we're talking about meter and feel. And what is meter? Meter is the bar length, right? It's how many beats are in the bar, what type of notes, how are you dividing it up. And the difference between 3 and 6 is huge, right? So we have a 3 feel, which is kind of like a waltz. I don't know what I was playing at the beginning. It's hard to do a waltz with just percussion, I guess. But I was trying to impart this idea of a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? Which we're all familiar with. And it's very blocky. It's very, 1, dee, dee, ding, boom, dee, gum, beep, 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 boom. Which is great. It's got kind of a solid feel. It's very grounded. It's kind of like a march, right? So I think 3/4 is kind of the equivalent of 2/2 or 4/4. It's a marching, forward movement kind of thing, but sort of grounding. And the cycle is felt, over those 3 beats. In a little bit, or maybe soon, we're gonna contrast that with 6/8. Which is the same number of eighth notes, but instead of 3 groups of 2, which is what 3/4 is, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to completely change it, and we're going to have two groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. In addition to that, we're going to put a longer phrase like syncopated cowbell parts over that. And so it has a much more floaty, free, kind of gliding, lighter feel, which I know many of you are familiar with, but I think it's worth just exploring that a little bit. So that's what we're doing today in the show. That's kind of the musical theme. And welcome, Guadaloque, or Guadaloque, I guess is Guadaloque? Guadaloca. I'm not an expert in name pronunciation. I do the best I can. And Eric is in Texas, outskirts of San Antonio. Awesome. One of my favorite towns in Texas, San Antonio. Very nice. Welcome, you guys. So, if you have any requests or questions, put them in the chat. I do want to let you guys know we may or may not have a Tuesday Museday next Tuesday, because here in the United States, we like to celebrate our independence from Great Britain with exploding stuff that we buy from China. I don't know if we buy it for, but fireworks kind of invented in China, I believe. But that's what we like to do, and sometimes we do it, sometimes we just watch, and I don't know what's going to be happening next Tuesday. I will probably make something. You notice I didn't commit to that fully. I'll try to make something for you all if you'd like to watch something. Maybe I'll have a video that is just released at Tuesday Museday time, and it'll be a surprise event in celebration of our independence. Maybe I should do a video on independence, the musical kind. What do you guys think of that? So just keep that in mind. Probably not a live Tuesday Museday next week, but something. If you're so inclined and you're not busy exploding stuff yourself. Not yourself, but just enjoying the fireworks is what I'm saying, and celebrating the 4th of July is because we're here. I'm here in the United States. All right, so another piece of news, and I was trying to get this published before the broadcast, and I didn't, but it's going to be right after. It's going to be online right away. Is I decided what I'm going to do, because I had some requests from patrons for more rhythms, more rhythmic stuff. So one of the things I'm doing is we're going to do a rhythm of the week, and those will come out once a month. No, I'm kidding. Those will come out once a week, rhythm of the week, and I'm going to do my best to actually have a whole ensemble like I do this week. So that's about to be published, rhythm of the week, an ensemble for patrons at the courses level with notation. Oh my God, could it get any better? So patrons will get a full ensemble with notation. The rest of you will get some other iteration of that, some other version. Like for this one, I'm doing Bolero, and I do it on 2 congas, so that's on YouTube. And then the whole ensemble, which is multiple parts, is on Patreon. Because I do appreciate all the patrons who are supporting the channel, and I want to give the most to them. They're my first class and business class passengers. So that's what we're going to do. Right now, it's time for one of our featured signature and copywritten and trademarked features of the show. Here it comes, you guys. Guess the sound! Okay, you guys ready? Let's get into it. So this is Guess the Sound. Just do the best you can, and the more specific, the better. All right, here we go. Now, I will say I've done videos on this in the past. So if you're a hardcore world drum clubber, you've seen this. I have done this in the past. It's been on more than one video, but probably less than 4. Fewer than 4. So what do you guys think? Just shoot your guesses out. It's fine. All right, so Bill is in first with triangle. It is not a triangle. In fact, well, I'm not going to talk about the shape yet, but it's not a triangle. Sorry. Good guess, though. Good guess. Oh, Alex is very close. That is getting, so far, Alex is winning with the weird spring thing. Yeah, I think you guys can kind of tell, right? Hopefully, that it's sort of a weird spring thing. Extra points for, I don't know, what could you tell me? Can you tell me more? Can you get more specific? Maybe not, it's okay, but. All right. The guessing will close shortly, so just, take a shot if you want. There's no wrong answers here, you guys. It's not a competition. And the winner, it doesn't matter. Points don't matter, but I guess you get bragging rights if you win. All right. Okay, so everybody in? Last call. I'm seeing your guys' stuff on a 10-second delay, I think, too. So I'm going to give it a couple seconds to come in, because I think it takes a second from when I say something, and then it goes online, and then it comes back, so I can see it. I can see on the computer. So actually, I'm watching down here. Let me show you. I think I can show you in this view. No. Can you guys see? Oh, see over here. Right here, it's kind of hard to see, but see, I got my phone here, and I'm actually watching the live stream on my phone, down below here, and it's pretty delayed from what I'm seeing. So I guess what I'm seeing is what you guys are seeing in terms of time, but it's like 10 or 15 seconds of a delay. So that's why I don't want to rush you guys. I want to give you time. All right. Well, I think that's been enough time. So let me show you what we have. And a giant spring being hit with a triangle beater. I could hit it with a triangle beater. I'm actually using a wrench because it was sitting here, but let me show you. So this is the Ohm. This is made by Ohm Percussion. I can show you here. See how it says Ohm on it? And this is old. This is an old thing. So Ohm chimes. They are no longer in production. And oh, Cornelius just got here. We just did the Guess the Sound, and I know you would have had a good vague description. I almost mentioned your name, but now you're here. And yeah, it's this. So it's pretty cool. I believe it's aluminum, right? It's an aluminum spring. It is pretty springy. It's almost like a slinky. It's very soft, like, yeah, it's more like a coil, like Eric said. So I'm just tapping it with a wrench. I mean, not the best implement, but it's fine. And what's kind of cool is that if I move it around, like, I'm going to move it. So my mic is right here. And usually what I'll do if I'm recording this, if I'm using it in the studio, I'll either have stereo mics, which is great, or you can even you can get a lot of sound effects, sound changes just by proximation or proximity to the mic. So let me show you that. And see, as it rotates. I see you. I don't see you. I see you. I don't see you. I see you. How about that, you guys? Huh? So, simple. Now, if I had this mounted on something, if I had thought ahead that far, I could probably do it like this. I've also played this kind of like a triangle. And it's a little awkward right now, so it would be way easier, of course, if this was mounted. I'm going to try to kind of fake it and hold it with one hand. But if you mute it, see that? So, of course, that'd be easier if it was just hanging here on a stand and I didn't have to hold it. But you can play it with a triangle beater. A very light beater is really nice. It just can be very gentle, and it could substitute for a triangle or maybe some sort of, well, any metallic rhythmic thing. So cowbells all the way to triangles, cymbals, chimes, like somebody mentioned, like almost like wind chime. So this thing will, could be substituted or fill in for a lot of different instruments. So that's called the ohm. I think it's obviously a spring. I don't know if it was called like the energy spring or the coil chime or the spring coil energy chime. I don't know. If it was something today that just came out, they'd probably call it the binaural beats 432 chakra chime spring. I don't know. All right, that's what that is, the ohm chime. So this could be part of, probably not, but part of our Gimme 5, which is coming up. So let's get the Gimme 5 ground rules, or the Gimme 5 instructions done now, so we can make sure everybody gets that, because I think we might have a couple new people. Gimme 5 is coming up, and that is where I take 5 instruments that you choose from what I have here and put them in a request, and then I do live looping with those, right? Which is great. So I like that. It's a challenge for me because I don't know what you guys are going to pick, and sometimes it's very strange. One time we had my, not that view. We had my cell phone mount, which is this. It's on this clip right here. So one time that was what somebody picked, and so that made it into the looper. All right, but that's down there. I do prefer, I guess, when it's actual instruments, but not necessarily. I mean, I like a challenge, so. So, pick 5 things, put it in a list. If you want to dedicate it, you can. If you want to dedicate it to like a person or a cause or whatever, you can add that information, and we'll do that for you. And that's it. It's just 5 things. So right now, we're going to do that towards the end. Right now, let's go on and explore 6/8 a little bit. All right, so 6/8 is the cousin of 3/4, right? And I just erased what I did in 3/4. I probably should have played it again so you can compare. But we had 3/4 was like 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Right? 1, 2, 3. Now, well, let me just play it. I'm just going to play, and we'll have something else. righty. Okay. I feel like I'm just getting warmed up now. All right. Do we have some Gimme 5s coming in? I think we do. You know what, you guys? Put your Gimme 5s together, but hold off. Unless Roseanne's going to keep track of all that stuff. Because I can't. I guess she will, right? That's what Roseanne's good at. Is coalescing and, what's the word? Collating and just being cool. As a moderator. All right. So now we can do some Q&A, or if you guys have any, any questions about any of this. I hope that you got the feeling different, right? The feeling difference between the 3/4 and the 6/8, hopefully, right? 6/8 is what we call a compound meter. And that means that it's 2 sets of 3, right? So 2 sets of 3. It's a little different than a simple meter like 3/4, right? Because it's just 3. Or 4/4 is 4. 2/2 is 2. But compound meter, 6/8, 2 sets of 3. Another compound meter is 12/8, which is 4 sets of 3, which is usually felt like a shuffle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's a so it's 4 sets of 3. 6/8, similar, but a little different. 12/8 is kind of like the 4/4 version, right, of 6/8, which is kind of more like 2/2 or a march, doom bat, doom bat, do 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 do, right? It's just 1 2 1 2 1 2 back and forth, which is like our samba, right? So it's a 2 feel, but with 3, right? That's why it's 2 sets of 3. So it's called a compound meter. Lots of Afro-Cuban music and other music from around the world is in 6/8. I love it personally, and I think that what you could try, if you want to play over a 6/8 groove yourself, is some of what I was just doing, which is creating a polymetric feeling wherein you can play straight time over the 3s, like play straight 4. And how can I illustrate that? When we're playing 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 dot 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 dot. You can divide that 2, right? You can divide the 2 into an even 4. Dot 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 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2. Ba 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 ba. That's hard to do. I'm not getting paid enough to do that. All right, do you guys get what I'm talking about? And so I did some of that in there. So that's a matter of phrasing. So you can phrase over a 6/8 in like a 4/4 feel. That's the thing that's so cool about it. And there you get these polyrhythms and different kinds of phrasing. All right, so that's something you guys you can try. And it doesn't matter what instrument you're playing. This is not limited to drumming, right? If you could be playing guitar, ukulele, singing, native flute, whatever. Some of the other instruments that we use here, it doesn't matter. So you can still play in the 6/8, and you can phrase it. You can have a lot of fun with what we call polyrhythmic or polymetric, meaning multiple meters together. Awesome. Super fun. Okay, so we have a Gimme 5. Is Alex. So bongos, congas, tambourine, cowbell, and any flute. Cool. All right. So pretty straight ahead. And I've got 2 cowbells featured today. I got the giant one, the mambo bell, and the smaller cha-cha bell. So I don't know if you have a preference. Here's what they sound like. Actually, that's the large bell. Not super low. And here's a small one. That's with my finger, of course. If you have a preference, let us know. He's asking about Mini K. I don't know if Mini K is coming back. What I could do, well, I could force it. So what happens is, when I do this picture-in-picture, right? This is the picture-in-picture. This is the picture where I am now that's in the other picture. So we call this PIP, or picture-in-picture. And what I did is I hit this button over on my video switcher that it knocked it into like its default setting, which is just in the corners, and it's super tiny. So the one that I'm using now is like the user-defined one, you know, and but then the other ones are, I don't know why you can't change it on the fly. I guess you could do it. In other words, we could if I had somebody at the computer, they could do that because there's computer software that controls the video thing, like it's all linked up. But I can't do it here on the fly because I don't have, you know, the tools. You can't do it just from what I have here. So that was that. But that was kind of fun. Yeah, Mini K. I don't know if you guys know, a lot of people call me K, actually. It's funny. Or K-Man. Or K-Dog is actually another one. It's a lot of Mini K, Special K, K-Dog, K-Man. It's a lot. It's a lot to process. But it's touching. I appreciate it. Those are terms of endearment. Is that right? All right. Why don't we start heading towards the Gimme 5 direction? Unless you guys have any questions about what we're doing here. I'm here for you right now. Also, though, I do want to say that I'm considering putting together a special event for the summer. I'm almost there. I'm forming it in my mind right now. I'm almost done, and that would be kind of a special World Drum Club, you know, weekend or day event or something, semi-live event. So anyway, if that forms, I will tell you soon, but I should know maybe by next week. And yes, Mini K is on break today because he's in the attic working, making sure that the electrical systems do not get interrupted under any circumstances. All right, so we have bongos, congas, tambourine, cowbell, and a flute. So I have a lot of flutes over here. I can't show you right here. Obviously, you can see some in back of me, but I got a whole bunch more over here. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pick one that I don't usually play. And because there's just one flute, I don't have to worry about the keys matching and all that. And maybe I'll start off with that, and I'll show it to you right now. I have to get up to grab it. Hold on. And I'll try not to fall over. So I bought this from somebody. So I do a flute event, a live flute retreat every year in October called Flute Harvest. And that is with my colleague Clint Goss and his wife Vera Shanov. And we present it down here in LA, in Encino, in the mountains, up in the hills. It's really great, at the Holy Spirit Retreat Center. Beautiful retreat center. You don't even think you're in LA. You just forget that you're in LA. And yet you are. It's close by. And we present that Flute Harvest every October, like second week. And we have a opportunity where people bring things that they're not using anymore, or they have too many flutes, which is a problem that we all suffer from. And so it's kind of like just a flute, flea market sort of thing. People can sell stuff. So I bought this one at the last Flute Harvest, and it's a double flute. It's a drone flute, and it's got two different notes over on this side. So it's got two. Let me show you. It's got two channels, right? It's like basically like two flutes. Don't be scared. If you see this in the south or at somebody's door, you should run away. But if you see this, it's okay. Don't worry. It's beautiful. I think this is Singing Tree, I want to say. I might get that name wrong. Let me show you this flute. So I'll do each side as long as we got some time. So on my left, it's got this. So the root and the 5, right? And then on the other side, of course, we've got the full flute. I haven't played it in a while. The holes are kind of hard to find on this. Now, both together, and what I have to do is hold my little finger over that one to get the full note, and then I can play the rest of it like this. Let me try it, and I'll put a little bit of reverb on. Here we go. All right, I'm just practicing right now. I hardly ever play this, so why not challenge myself? We'll see what we can do with this. We'll bring it in a little bit later into the broadcast. All right, so I'm gonna erase everything I have in there, and I think what could be fun is kind of slowing the tempo down a little, but still doing 6/8. So that's what I'm gonna do. And we'll build up a little flute groove, kind of a little flute thing. But I'll start off. I think I'm going to do it now. Yeah, Cornelia says it's kind of like bagpipes. It is. I mean, a bagpipe is a drone instrument too. So yeah, kind of like that. Except I noticed something interesting, and that's when I do both of the low notes together, they kind of cancel each other out. I don't know if you guys notice that. So I can do this one on one side and then this one on the other. But when I build both of them together, see how it completely changes, gets kind of thin. So I think I'm gonna keep that in consideration. I'm gonna consider that when I'm playing, because I think I like just the single low note better. Okay, let's go. Introduction. Enjoy, you guys. Okay, gang. That flute's crazy, right? That is a wild flute. I like that flute. I think it's an F, and it might be 432. No, it's 4. I don't know what it's. No, it says something on the back. 347. I don't know what that means. Anyway, I have to look into this further, but it's really nice. It's like, I think it's teak, maybe? Or it might be koa. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I hope you guys like that. The drone flute is pretty cool, right? It's kind of like playing with your own little beat in the background if you were doing a rhythm. It gives you that, well, it's kind of like two flutes, right? I mean, it literally is two flutes. One that has a couple notes and one that has more. There are some drone or multi-flutes, and I've got a really cool clay one that I will break out for you guys one of these days. And that is a triple flute, and each one has a couple notes on it, and like 2 or 3 notes each flute. And that is very interesting. That is actually like a multi-flute and a drone flute. But yeah, super fun. If you guys are interested in the flute stuff, I've got a whole course. I've got multiple courses, actually. I have a How to Play Native American Style Flute course, and then I have one called Flute Mastery, which is kind of like the next step, and you learn like all the ornaments and ornamentation, tonguing techniques, fingering techniques, breath techniques like circular breathing and vibrato and all that stuff. And all of that is available to patrons at the course's level, including all of my other videos: bongos, congas, djembe lessons, cajon, drum circle facilitation, musical games, tons of stuff, you guys. I don't know if you knew that. If you didn't know that, now you know. But go to patreon.com/Kalani if you'd like to dig in more to any of this stuff. I also have a whole ukulele course over there and some ukulele specific lessons and things. So we're right on time today. I want to thank you guys. Thanks, Eric, for that suggestion. Great to see you guys. Cornelius is in the house with us. Thank you to Roseanne, of course, for being such a wonderful host and keeping things moving and wrangling all of these out-of-control percussion enthusiasts that show up here on the World Drum Club live stream. You know what? If you enjoy Tuesday Musedays, please tell your friends. Drop a link in your social media. You can just, if you're emailing, if you think of certain people that might like it, tell them about it, and then you guys can both show up and say hello to each other, if provided that's something you want to do. You might have colleagues, or there might be an older adult or a relative or a child that you think could be exposed, benefit to being exposed to music and kind of fun live stuff like we do here. And one of the things that I really like about this is that this is live, it's improvised, and like you see me taking chances, right, musically. I do that every single week on Tuesday Museday. I take a lot of risks and just kind of try stuff, and I think that just modeling that is really great for especially young people, but anybody who wants to try playing music. Obviously, I have a lot of years of experience, but I'm still learning. I don't always get it all perfect, and it's not about that. It's just about playing music because we enjoy it and we want to try things and experiment and push ourselves in new directions and in a modality, that we enjoy. So whether you're doing music as a hobby or you're doing it as a study and maybe you want to do gigs or maybe you just want to play for fun at home, this is a great place for you. So tell your friends, share it online. You can also join, and Roseanne's already ahead of me. Join us on the Facebook group. You can, post suggestions, questions, requests. You can put stuff over there. And we will do our best. All right, you guys, I want to thank you again for joining us. This is another Tuesday, Museday. And I think this is also being a podcast. I'm not sure. I changed some settings in YouTube in the streaming, and it might be a podcast by this point. I'm not sure. If it is, I'll try to let you know. We'll do that in the Facebook part. See us at patreon.com/Kalani for more. Thanks a lot. Happy 4th of July to you guys, or whatever you're celebrating. And we'll see you soon, probably in 2 weeks live, but I'll put something together for next week. All right. See you guys. Thanks for joining us.
World Drum Club,